Fine, I'll do it again. Hello, future people. Jason the Bruce here with Getting Tabled, and today I'm bringing you an unboxing from Twisted's Monstrous Marvels. This is a tabletop game that I backed in September of last year. We also covered it during our news segment on episode 36. There were some really gorgeous resin models that they were adding to the game, and we were all very praising of it, actually. It was a game that's created in Australia by Demented Games. Peter and I want to say Scott. I've met Peter. I haven't met the other guy. I'll double check that and I'll get back to you. I have received, under Marvels here in this summary, I have received number 2, and under the add-ons I have number 1. That's just the ones that I selected that I wanted. There was only so much that I could justify. But as you're about to see, there is none of these that are not gorgeous. They are all gorgeous. There's none of these that are not gorgeous. They're just amazing. So, without further ado, let's get rid of that, and let's get into the unboxing. So, just for some complete transparency, this is actually the second time I'm going to be opening this. I did unbox it originally and look at it on camera for the first time, but sadly my microphone wasn't working through an error that I caused, not it. So I do apologise for that. My opinions on this won't have changed, but it's not going to be the fresh look that it was the first time. Obviously I've torn my address label off as well. But this is what I've received. So, I have the Sewer Golem, and what appears to be renamed. It's now Senior Agent, not Guild Agent. I'm not sure of the reason between that name. Sebastian is the name that I was trying to think of earlier. I'm guessing that maybe there was something wrong with Guild Agent from a copyright perspective or something. I have no idea. I might reach out and see if I can find out. But let's get into the main show. Now, because I'm a massive tease, and because this is kind of what you do, but let's start with the artwork and stuff first. So, absolutely gorgeous. You would almost think that that's just a sewer. Like, there's nothing on that artwork that suggests that this thing is about to be able to move. I mean, if you look closely, then there are clearly fingers there. But they could just be the way that the bricks are sitting too. That one doesn't have anything on it. Cuddleberry is the gentleman that sits on top of him, fishing. Now, I am not fully familiar with the rules. I have met Peter in person a couple of times, but I've never actually played a game of this. So I'm not going to be explaining how any of these rules work because I won't get them right. I do have a copy of the book somewhere. I don't know them. Sewer Golem clearly has a speed of 3, a strength of 6. I'm not 100% sure what Fin stands for. An attack of 5 or 3. A defense of 3 or 3. An armor of 8. And I don't know what ALC stands for. It could be alchemy or something. I don't know. Life of 30. Costs 34 points. On the back here, you get a look at those special rules. So if you are more familiar with the rules than me, feel free to pause this video and get a look of what he can do for your team. Cuddleberry doesn't have his own stats per se because he's part of the Sewer Golem. But He does have 10 life of his own, so he could, in theory... Oh, there we go. Alchemy of 8. Haha! It is alchemy. That's a good guess. Okay. So, when he is on the golem, he takes over, basically, and he improves its stats to some extent. He has his own rules as well. So... we've got some smoke here with a pipe that's burst and is flooding with water. That's the light that on the artwork you can see hanging out from in front. Here we have Cuddleberry and his fishing pole. Given how long and thin that is, I'm surprised that it's cast so well without warping. Right, that is dead on. And there's very little in the way of mould lines on these. Let me turn my light on. There's very little in the way of mould lines on these. At least to the naked eye, I'm not really seeing any. I love his shorts. He's not really after style. He's just trying to stay cool in the sewers. And then we have the pièce de la résistance. That's the worst French accent you're ever going to hear. So again, I love the fact that at first glance, you would honestly think this is just a piece of the sewer. And then you look a little closer and you can see, oh wait, that's actually a hand. And their fingers coming out from behind that waterfall. And arms coming around. Behind him you can actually see that he's moving beneath the water. It's really, really well thought out. I've seen a lot of unique monsters in my time. Golems is not a new idea. But I've never seen someone do a sewer golem. I'm not saying that this is a new idea. It could be something that people have done in D&D before. I've just not seen it myself. So for me, this feels really fresh. So Cuddleberry will sit up the top here. You've got a couple of points where those smokes and waters and stuff are coming from. And then we have what was the guild agent, but is now the senior agent. Loving the long trench coat, and is that a knife? Yep, he's got a knife behind his back that he's trying to stab you with. You can see the details in the face, which, given that in a straight angle you can barely see, is really nice to see. This is going to be amazing to paint. It's a shame that I'm not going to be able to paint them up straight away. He is on a regular 30mm base. The other one is on a 40mm base. The bases are obviously the most important part of this. I mean, look at the sculpts of the bases. They're not just the same as every other base. Yes, they're the same as every other base. I'm being a smart ass. Interesting that the in the artwork. Where's the artwork for the other one? You've got the sewer golem. Which is actual artwork, but this one is actually the mini. I don't know. I just find that interesting. So again, I'm not overly familiar with the rules of this game. Well, I'm not familiar with the rules of this game at all. Excuse me. That's clearly speed of 4, strength of 4, whatever Finn stands for. attack and defense of 3, armor of 6, and we now know that that's alchemy of nothing. Life of 17, costs 23 points. That's his weapon stats, and that's his weapon properties and special abilities. Again, pause that if you would like to see them, because I don't know the game well enough to explain them. This has all been, it's all been packaged really nicely. Everything's with foam and in bubble wrap. I've got no pieces on here that are broken. And, as a reminder, some of these pieces are dangerously thin. The fact that this has shipped from Sydney and it's not broken astounds me. Australia Post are not well known for treating their packages nicely. Not having a go at all workers, but as a company, they're not known for it. So, praise to them for that. So yeah, that's Twisted. Sorry again that I kind of had to record that twice. The shock and awe is obviously missing from this. I do have to admit that the sewer golem is smaller than I was expecting it to be. It just is. As you saw from the website, there's nothing on it that actually says how big or small it is. It's just not as large as I was expecting it to be. And that's just something that happens sometimes. I'm really, really happy with this. Peter and Sebastian do some really nice work. I've heard nothing but positive things about how the game plays. I've not had a chance to meet with Peter and have a game of it yet. I have met up with him a couple of times, but not had the chance to play. Because either I was at the store for something else already, or COVID, and so on and so forth. This is a game that did get born out of Kickstarter initially, and went pretty well. It definitely has a good following. If you're wanting something that's a little bit left of centre, this is very much steampunk-esque. It kind of takes elements from Dickensian lore, because you've got like characters like Oliver and so forth. It's all twisted, hence the name. There's characters from history, or named after characters from history. The Wizard of Oz is definitely not in this game, or characters from it. The characters from Monkey Magic or Journey to the West are definitely not in this game. There's a lot of inspirations that they've twisted in, and in a way that, I mean, I know that it's not what it's inspired by, but it does kind of, it feels like it makes sense from what I've seen in the world. So, and that's not easy to do. There's a lot of companies that do try to twist in things that are not held under copyright. Like Wizard of Oz is an example of something that has been in public domain for a long time. But it doesn't always get done well. I really like what they've done here. So I'm going to leave it at that for now. If you get a chance, play some more games. Otherwise, try to get some hobby done. I'm a couple of days away from making a trip home to Tassie. Sadly, I won't have any hobby with me that I know of. This is going to be going into storage for now, at least until I get back. Because, as most of you know, I've got quite a number of projects going on at the moment. But I don't expect that this would survive the trip. I just see no way that it would. So I'm gonna have to leave it aside for now, and then look at it a bit more closely when I get back. But otherwise, thank you again for watching. For those of you that do try to support us, we thank you very much. You can check us out on patreon.com/gettingtabled when you ask for $2 a month. We'd very much like your support for anything that you can contribute at all. It would be very much appreciated. If you want to check us out on social media, facebook.com/gettingtabled is probably the best place to find us. You can find us on Instagram and Twitter at Getting Tabled. The website is gettingtabled.weebly.com. Or otherwise, send us an email, gettingtabled@gmail.com. But until next time, thank you very much, and play more games. Any and all opinions that are stated in this video are mine and mine alone.